Hey everybody, how could I give a presentation on flipping the classroom if I didn't flip a little bit myself? So what I'm going to do here is give you a little short video on what it means to flip the classroom and some of the common things that you see in a flipped classroom and what you can anticipate in the presentation. So let me start by sharing my screen with you. Okay, getting there. Wonderful. As I said, I would be remiss if I didn't flip myself, so I'm flipping. The main concept in flipping the classroom is really summed up by saying changing places and changing spaces. The traditional educational model, one that we've gone through as students and one that we probably use primarily as professors, is to instruct in the classroom and then assign homework for the students to do at home. In the flipped model, the instruction actually occurs at home. Typically, it's done by way of a video that the professor records. That's not the only way to do it, but it is by far the most common way to do it. So the students will get their instruction at home. Certainly, reading the textbook or other reading assignments takes place there as well. So they'll get their instruction at home. And then, well, what do we do with the class time? Class time is for the things that might have been done at home, working on assessments, assignments, things like that. And there's plenty of other things you can do during your allotted class time if you flip the classroom and present the instruction at home. Good thing about flipping the classroom, content is available even when you're not. So you don't have to be in your students' homes or dorm rooms or wherever it is that they study. They can take you with them. Anytime they have a mobile device, be it a laptop, a desktop, a cell phone, a tablet, whatever, any way they can get onto the internet, they can have your instruction. Also, the student controls the pace of the learning. When you lecture, let's say you use a lecture model, your pace is your pace, kind of. Can you be slowed down by students asking questions over and over again? You certainly can. Will some students get bored if your pace is too slow? Absolutely, absolutely. We all see it happen. And can your pace be too fast for some of the students? We all know that that happens too. The student controls the pace. And if they want to replay a section of your video over and over again, they can do it. If they're bored, they can actually speed up the video. They can skip over portions where they feel very, very confident in the material. But like I said, they could see the whole video over again in its entirety or just play and re-replay sections that give them problems. Also, we're not racing against the clock. Have you ever had a problem with pacing in that, you know, the first half of your class goes a lot slower than it was intended to go, and then all of a sudden you're looking at the clock and you're saying to yourself, or maybe even out loud to your class, okay, I better hurry up so I can get all this in. You're not constrained by the movement of the clock when you're flipping a classroom. Make the video as long as you want or as short as you want. Break it down into multiple videos if you so choose. Have you ever heard a student say, gosh, I wish you were with me? Typically not other than when they're doing their assignments. Seriously, they don't want us with them. But if they're doing homework or they're working on problems, maybe then they wish we were with them. Well, now you are, because they've gotten the content, they've gotten the foundational material at home, and you are with them in class to deal with working through problems, having discussions, critical thinking exercises. All that sort of learning that goes on, you are right there with them. When you flip and you have your classroom time freed up, you can do things like group work. You can give individual attention, perhaps, if your class size supports it, give individual attention during class time to certain students who need it. And you can also engage in peer-to-peer tutoring. You might have some students who don't catch on quickly, and you might have other students in the class who actually have a great grasp of the material and might find themselves being bored. Well, if you can pair them up together during class time, you don't have to worry about them meeting up at a certain time in a certain place and having different schedules. They're both going to be there in your class, so you have a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can do when you flip a classroom. It's very, very freeing in terms of what you can accomplish in a flipped classroom during the class meeting time. What do you need to successfully flip the classroom? And let me emphasize successfully. You need to get some buy-in from the students, and you need to generate excitement. Both of these fall on our shoulders. You might have buy-in built in. You might have students who have gone through many, many flipped classrooms, either at Keiser, at other colleges, perhaps in their high school. So they know the value of a flipped classroom. But for those who are not familiar with it, you need to get them to buy into the concept, especially if it's a new concept, and build some excitement. Hey, we're trying something new. We're trying something 21st century. And let them know that this is something that's there for them. It's there to enhance their learning experience. You also need some basic technology. This video that I'm presenting today is extremely low tech. It's really just a webcam, a PowerPoint slide. I shoot, I go. There's no editing. If I slip up, I slip up. Big deal. I slip up in class too, and I don't get do-overs there. And we all slip up in class. So if you stumble over your words, as I have multiple times so far, don't worry. It's the content. You're providing educational content to your students at their terms, when they want it, and how they want it. So you just need basic technology. Any computer or tablet with a webcam will do, or if not, you can buy some webcams very, very inexpensively. You also need to create content. Creating content is not that difficult. I'm doing it right now, and like I said, it's just a webcam and a PowerPoint slide. Also, you, meaning we as professors, in order to be successful in flipping a classroom, we need to get used to the idea that content is assigned for homework, and then the homework, so to speak, is done in class. It really is turning the traditional model of homework and instruction upside down. It's called flipping for a very, very good reason. We will be providing content out of class time, primary content out of class time, and then homework, so to speak, is done in class. Doesn't have to be homework assignments. You might not want to do an hour and 15 minutes of review problems, but you can. And you can do discussions and critical thinking projects, and students can engage in other activities that will enhance their learning experience. So we need to be comfortable with the concept that homework is no longer something that is necessarily or exclusively done at home, and content teaching can be done at home. One of the best aspects of flipping the classroom is that some of the most challenging things that you encounter and that you have your students go through are done under your guidance. You can give a lecture that you think is brilliant and lays everything out perfectly, only to be surprised when students don't do well on their test, or there are many, many blanks left on their homework assignments. You don't need to be surprised with that. You don't know how well a lecture is really sinking in. You can get some idea with formative assessment, but you really don't know until you test it. And testing could be in the way of homework, could be in the way of a formal assessment such as a quiz, a test, etc. But when they're working through the difficult things, when they're applying the knowledge that you provided them, they do that in the classroom under your guidance, and that works out best for everyone. You know how your students are doing, they know how they're doing, and help is just a hand raise away. Also, it's been shown that we get better learning outcomes when we flip the classroom. So I encourage you to try it. And now back to the live portion of our presentation.